Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of XR Talk Show. Today is 2019, October 6th, Sunday, California time, 9 o'clock a.m. Good morning, Cool Force School. Cool Force School, where are you from? I forgot. What country? So, Cool Force School, do you have a topic? I have a bunch of topic prepared for you guys. So, first of all, we got a Discord. Now, so I'm thinking of creating a forum for my XR Talk Show. Basically, like it's like a XR fan club. Okay, XR fan club. So I have a Reddit page that is XR. Okay, so let's go to Reddit XR. Okay. So you can see there is this Reddit XR page. But however, it's a bit confusing because I created this about a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2003, 2013. Okay, I created this. It kinds of like Kasa fan club, and but about 3 years ago, Reddit introduced a new feature that made it very confusing because Reddit introduced, you see, now this is my Reddit account slash XA, user XA. Okay, this is my Reddit account. So Reddit introduced a feature such that you can follow other users. Now Reddit introduced this around 2016 or so. So Reddit introduced a feature where you can follow users, just like on Twitter, on Facebook. They want to introduce features to grow their website. That's what all these do for money. Of course, the ultimate purpose is so that they can make money, more money. So Reddit introduced this feature. So now I have a problem. You see, because my user account is XR, but my Reddit art kind of room or forum is also named XR. The only difference is that one is r slash capital XAH, okay, capital X. Then the user is lowercase XR. So that is kind of confusing because sometimes you think you are following me, but you are actually following my user account on Reddit, not the XR fan club on Reddit. So I'm thinking of either rename this rxr to r/xrli if I can rename it. Do you guys know if I can rename it? Or I just create a new r/xrli Reddit. I think that's what I'll do. So this is a kind of like XR fan club. So you guys can talk, and also it's great for you guys to meet each other, because my followers, we tend to have the same interest. So Cool for School, say something. Am I alive? Let's check. Okay, let's check for. Okay, yes, I'm alive. Stop that. 9 people watching. People, say hi. Okay, post something in the chat, and also pick a topic if you like me to talk about that. So anyway, that is about my Reddit fan club, and so I'm going to I will create a new r/xrli, maybe in the tomorrow or so, or today. So that is about that. But also, I also created yesterday. I happened to run into Discord. So let's go to Discord. So this Discord will also be XRD fan club. Okay, but I don't know how to use it yet because yesterday I was trying to use it. Discord. Discord seems to be fantastic. Discord. Let me try to XRD. Okay. Let's say XR2. Okay. Let's say continue. So if you want to join, you go to this this website. Okay. Let me paste it here. Now that's Xali fan club. Okay, so we are on Discord. Okay, I'm not a bot. Stupid, I'm not a bot. You know this I'm not a bot. That technology is very complex. It's a Google Chrome. Because I've read the article because they there is basically a AI engine behind it. Like when you click "I'm not a bot," how does a bot, how like it's just simply a button. How does the machine know you are not a bot or not? Because any bot can just simply click that. So it turns out, the way Google did it, behind Chrome, I guess, is that there is actually a AI engine that it's measuring all your mouse movements and all that. And there are several articles. Like if you search for Google I'm not a bot, there are several articles that discuss that in detail. And apparently someone has been able to break it. They study it, they dig into, they spend days or weeks or months, they dig into it, and they can break it. So anyway, Discord. So I started to register an account on Discord, and this is my first time using it. I'm not sure how to use it exactly because now it says, it asked me to claim your account. So yesterday, so anyway, I don't want to claim account. Oh, there is this guy. Okay, so this is a new information. You see, right now I'm logged in as XA2, and I'm logged in. So on Discord, they call on Reddit you have R something. You call it a what room or something. On different sites they have different names. Like some call it a channel, some call it a room. Like on instant messages back then, you call it a room. You enter a room or you exit a room. On Reddit you have r slash something. Well, how they call that? I forgot. Subreddit, yeah. So Reddit they call it subreddit. On IRC, you call it. I think you call it channel. Basically, it's just all of these is just like a room or subject matter, subject area you can go into. Okay, so on Discord it looks like they call it a server. It's kind of funny. So server or channel, I'm not sure yet because I'm still trying to learn how Discord works. So anyway, so what you are seeing here, channel, this is supposed to be the Xali fan club channel. Okay, there we have just arrived. So this is supposed to be a Xali fan club channel. But however, you see, there must be a admin. So this is me, XA2, right now. I just clicked on that and I just joined. But there is a admin. You see this one, this guy. You see this guy XA with a crown. That is me. I created this yesterday. But so right now I want to become me. How I don't know how to do that. Like I don't see any login or log off. So do you know? Do you guys know how to do that? Hola. So this is fun. So let's read what it says. Okay. So anyway, so this will be supposed to be my my place, so you guys can talk. Uh, I think I'm going to name it Xali Fan Club, something like that. Okay. Then as soon as I learned about how to use Discord, I'll rename it and things like that. Put my icons, put my links. So this super guy says, "I found Discord. Surprise!" By the way, I find Discord. Whenever I join a new service like that, typically I do some research. For example, first thing is that I go to Wikipedia to read about what is nature. I mean, what's the history? Who created it? What's the background? Typically, I do that. So anyway, I posted picture about Discord on Wikipedia article about Discord. So Discord, it turns out, seems interesting. So you can actually also do voice chat. You can also do voice chat, and I think I will try it. I haven't figured out how yet. So anyway, this is Discord. So let's read what this guy says. Super, I found Discord. Surprised it took you so long. Yeah, so I think Discord is pretty good. Okay. Um, so the UX, where is Bartholomew? Now Bartholomew is supposed to create a, uh, uh, supposed to create create a chat room for us. But anyway, when Bartholomew has it, so guys, post messages here. Okay, so Super says the UX user interface user experience is good. The software kinda sucks, but the community is ultimately what matters. I'm pretty sure there are no third-party clients for Discord because it doesn't have a public API. Okay, so it does. So if it does in Bitly, I imagine you have to have an instance running. Okay, the Discord client is well designed, but it's Electron. Oh my God, it's written in Electron. Jesus. Electron, that's JavaScript. So Electron, if you don't know, Electron um, is a JavaScript platform or framework. Actually, you should call it platform almost. So you write everything in JavaScript. It's amazing. I'm starting to get into Electron actually, but actually I mentioned this before two few days ago. This month October I'm going to spend 1 hour a day on React JS, on D3 JS. So it's already October 6th. So I've spent some time studying several JavaScript modern way of doing things, such as Yarn, React, Webpack, um, so and Parcel, and I'm going to talk about those a little bit today. So Discord is written in Electron. That's great, and it's really bad on mobile battery, which is the worst thing about it. Okay, so you are using mobile phone, then it's bad. Good morning, Matt. So by far the most power hungry of any app on my Pixel 3 after YouTube. Okay. So and Super says, as for myself, I came from IRC and Mumbler, TeamSpeak. Okay, I don't know what is Mumble, but I know what's TeamSpeak. When I was in Second Life, I learned about TeamSpeak. These teenager gamers, you chat, and I was on it. IRC is the old, typically Unix type of people. They love that IRC. So as for myself, I came from IRC and Mumble TeamSpeak that I use for gaming. Okay, for IRC I used WeeChat. For IRC I used WeeChat, which is a Chinese. That's a Chinese program, is it or not? The only piece of command line and cursive software that I really liked. Oh, it's kind of Emacsy in its approach. Everything is one command away and it's very customizable. Predictably, the author is an Emacs user, and you can see its philosophy from through in many ways. Okay, I don't know what is WeeChat. Wait, WeeChat is the... I thought it's a Chinese app that does everything. Okay, so WeeChat is a free and open source internet relay IRC client. Basically, WeChat is a free and open source internet relay chat client, which is designed to be light and fast. Okay, it's released under the term of GNU General, blah blah blah, and has been developed since 2003. Okay, it's just a IRC client. that's not interesting at all. We have 1,000 IRC clients today. So Matt says, do you really want to climb down the rabbit hole? Like what? Like Discord? And what do you mean? So Super says, one crap thing you should fix. Discord's default server notification settings is to send you a notification for every message. Okay, make sure to change the default. Okay, so I'm going to, play around with Discord and learn about it. But anyway, let me repeat. There's one thing I don't know. How do I log in? Like, how do I get rid of the, right now my XR2 and become my real account XRD. Like I don't see any log in or log off buttons. So anyway, I think this Discord is quite a new technology. One new message. Okay, Discord is actually busy. Okay, praise the sun, praise the sun. So getting into the whole JavaScript ecosystem. Oh yeah, that I'm afraid that's something I just have to do because I write websites, right? I have a website. I have several websites with 6,000 articles, essays, and tutorials. 6,000 of them, not counting the mirrored manuals. I mean, each of these 6,000, let's say 5,000, each of these 5,000 articles are written by myself manually. Tag for tag, every character I typed. Then with Emacs help. So I have, so I'm running websites. So JavaScript is something I just have to know. I mean, that's kind of my, it becomes my job almost. So but so like right now, I know JavaScript very well. I'm a master of JavaScript. Let me mention this again. I have a JavaScript in-depth tutorial that I would claim it is the best in English, okay, in English literature. Of all English literature that teaches JavaScript, may it be published as a book, printed book, or online, mine is the best. Okay, that's my claim. What do you mean best? How do you measure it? Well, there's many ways. Okay, but you can just trust me, or you can just like roughly on average. Okay, you can pick. Let's say you guys, okay, pick some of your favorite JavaScript resource. Maybe it's a website or it's a book, printed book. Type it right now, and I can give you my criticisms about it. But anyway, I just want to tell you my JavaScript. So check it out, JavaScript in depth. I spent basically 2 years full time on it, and I'm still working on it every day because there's many things to do. Okay, so JavaScript in depth. Then you have a full JavaScript object reference. Then you have the DOM scripting tutorial. Now my DOM scripting tutorial is not as comprehensive because DOM is very complicated, just like JavaScript. Okay, anyway, but I give you the quickest introduction, the most practical. Like you read my tutorial, you read my stuff, you'll be a JavaScript master. But however, let me mention. Okay, so I wrote this JavaScript in depth and DOM. Okay, and SVG tutorial. Okay, so you can see. Let's go to, wow, the Discord just keep happening. So let's go to XR JavaScript. Okay, XR JavaScript. JavaScript, the global object. I talk about the global object. Anyway, so you go to the JavaScript in depth. So I wrote this JavaScript in depth. However, I have a problem. There is a flaw because my style of JavaScript is the raw technology in depth. It is represented. It can be captured by these comics. Let me show you these comics. So two guys are talking. Wow, which plugin have you used to do this thing? It's amazing. And this who is this guy? Dinosaur? None. So that is my style of JavaScript so far. I don't use any framework, any library, and so I've shown you my JavaScript application I've done before, so I'm not going to show it again. In my past videos, I've shown you some of the JavaScript application I've written. So no framework, no React, no Vue, no Angular, no nothing, no the Angular and what's the Angular React, none of that, no framework, not even not even jQuery. Okay, I don't use any of them, so I understand. You that means you understand JavaScript fully. Raw technology and DOM. Okay, it's all in browser. So that is about my JavaScript. So, but there's a flaw because today vast majority of programmers in the JavaScript field, you work for Google, Facebook, or Twitter, you don't code actually. No, you don't, even if you know JavaScript, but you don't code. You always use framework or library. Okay. uh, so in today's programming Java in front end, you always use a library or framework in any company, and that is something I'm not familiar with. Okay. So even though I know JavaScript well and DOM, I don't need to use those libraries, but it's a problem still. You see, because the framework, the way you use framework, Electron, it actually becomes necessary. It becomes, so that is why that I'm diving into this technology for real. I've done that before, but this, I'm going to dive it more. So I'm gonna learn about the React, all these different libraries. So that's about that. So how long have I been talking? Let's see. Wow, more people are has joined. Here is to kick butt, but chew bubble gum, and Joe is full of gum. So who are you people? We are expecting you. Hola, yo. So anyway, so let's go back to uh, live dashboard. So I've been talking for 20 minutes. I have several subjects I want to talk about. Where's Bartholomew? Bartholomew. Bartholomew is hiding or not here today. So I heard. So Matt says I heard svelte. Svelte is the next hot thing. So, or rather current. Okay, let's see what is that. Svelte JS. Okay, so cybernetically enhanced web apps. Okay, cybernetically enhanced web apps. So I guess they are so new that they don't have a Wikipedia page yet. Oh God, it's like I don't like it already. With this font, this font in, this font indicates to me. Anyway, so let's see. Svelte is a lightweight modern JavaScript library, 4.57 kilobytes. Okay, 5 kilobytes. Intended for use on projects where legacy browser support is not necessary. Okay, yeah. It uses modern JavaScript. Who doesn't? Query select or class list, yeah. Who doesn't? That's old. What do you mean modern JavaScript? To help make it as lightweight as possible, and therefore only works on the latest version of modern. Yeah. I can do that without any libraries. So quick example. Okay, yeah, shut up. Okay, let's look at the API. I don't think it's interesting at all. You do not need the library to do any of these, idiot. So reading the API, I know what they are talking about. I know, like, just look at the function names. I know what each one is talking about, and you do not need a library for this at all. It's all built in DOM and JavaScript. Yeah, so this is I think it's quite silly. Vue.js doc generated documentation, custom functions. Yeah, I don't think it's not important. Don't use it. It's .dev. Okay, so hold on, let me check that. Okay, So Cool for School says the other day you mentioned that Stephen Wolfram contacted you to come work for Mathematica, but you did not respond to his message. Are you not interested in working anymore? I am interested in working, but I've got issues. Okay, uh, typically my problem is, as maybe you call it, possibly it's part of the schizoid personality disorder. I did a video on that. Just search for it. Is because whenever I see something that is important, I don't do it. That is a thing. So anyway, so that's the issue. Okay, so like for example, when you got the email, oh God, I need to reply this, and tomorrow you didn't reply. Yeah, it's called procrastination. Okay, now I know many of you are also procrastinators, including Emacs users. Now I'm telling you, I'm the king of the procrastinator. Okay, I procrastinated my whole life and I failed. Okay, so I'm the king of procrastinator, and I know some of you are going to tell you, oh, if you are a procrastinator, there's this article that really solved it. I've read them all. Okay, I know the psychology. I know it all. I'm the master of procrastination. Okay, finally Bartholomew is here. I said Monday. God, I made sure I said it clearly yesterday. It's 9 o'clock today, but starting on Monday, it's 10 o'clock. So Bartholomew, you are here finally. Uh, so anyway, procrastination. Yeah. So possibly I don't know what So Wolfram, he's a great guy. I could go work for him, and also like every day, every month. Okay, you got these head counters. In Silicon Valley we call them head counters from Facebook and Google. Human resource department. They spam you with email. Hey, do you like to work for Google? Hey, do you like to work for Facebook? Yeah, and Amazon. You get that. Okay. um so I think it's possible. I'm going to kind of disappear anytime. But it's totally possible. One day, one of these days, maybe pretty soon. I don't know. I'll just maybe I'll start to try to apply. Start to do interviews. Then all of a sudden by tomorrow, I'm going to tell you, hi guys, there's gonna be no more Star Talk show. Now I work for Google. Okay, now I work for Google. and and I'm going to help Google do all the evil things to fuck you guys up. Fuck Google. But it's possibility. That's um, even though I'm getting old, but I'm not too old. Okay, I can still do coding. I do coding every day. Usually the problem with me is with the normal people, the interviewers, and also it's like, anyway, that's another topic. The interview. It's actually the interviewing thing. How does company hire people? That is a very interesting subject. Okay, because as a company, I mean, you maybe one day, you guys will be, open a company. Then that's a problem for you. You will need to hire people. So the problem is, how do you do it? How do you know which people are really good, which people are bad? Not just technically. Sometimes you get good people, but they are lazy. Sometimes you get there's many. It's a big issue. Hiring people. Like you interview for 2 hours, or even sometimes they do it for a week. For 5 hours. You interview, but you know you might hire someone who passed all interviews, so you think he's a great guy, but it turns out once you hire him, it's no good. Okay, he doesn't. A lot of people are like that. On the other hand, such as me, Ksa Lee, you interview me, you think this is an idiot. This guy don't know how to talk. He don't know how to write a nested loop. you know but I can write your whole company's code. Anyway, that's a exaggeration, but So interview and hiring is actually a big problem. Okay, so from both the company's point of view and also from the programmer you guys point of view. Like as a programmer, interview is also a problem for you because for example, take me. I know stuff, but when you do interviews, they ask questions you can't answer or you get nervous, or things like that. There's many things happen. There's a personality issue, and you have to, of course, you have to dress up at least a little bit. You have to present yourself. Actually, I can teach you guys about how to do interviews. Okay, like how to get yourself accepted. How to make yourself, how to sell yourself. That's actually important. I know many of my followers are not, are nerd types, are not good at interviews. So maybe you know so maybe I can talk about that. I don't know. So anyway, so interview, I want to emphasize is that as a most of you, for most people, it's like a problem for you. Like you don't know, you what should I do to get hired? You worry about it a lot. But in fact, remember, this is not just a problem for you, for people trying to get hired. It's actually a big problem for the corporations. In fact, it's actually probably a more uh, larger problem. It's a significant problem for companies because they cannot, they are willing, actually, today they are willing to pay thousands of dollars just to get a programmer. They are competing. So it's a major problem for them as well. So then you have thousands of companies. They focus on trying to hire people for your company. So it's a big problem. So don't think of interview is like these big corporations are trying to manipulate you or trying to filter you out. It's not like that. Okay, they spend a lot of money. Just huge billions. Trying to get people, and they cannot find people. That they have a lot of problems. So first of all, don't think of it as like, oh, these big companies, they are all trying to manipulate us, who trying to filter out us or something tactic. It's not like that. Okay, so anyway, that's interview is a problem we can talk about and how to do interviews. How many people don't act in interview? These situations call for fake behavior. Okay, so if you have actually, if you want me to answer on something, put my name on it. Make it orange like in a chat. I'm going to continue talking about the okay, Svelte DS. Okay, so I don't know what is that. So maybe I don't know. Dev. Let's see. Let's go back to JavaScript. Okay, so actually I do have some things I want to talk about. Okay, this one I guess. Okay, so Svelte. Okay, Svelte. Cybernetically enhanced web apps. Now there it is. There is a clickbait. Cybernetically enhanced web apps. Okay, you gotta use this now because it's cybernetically enhanced. Okay, for example, React is not cybernetically enhanced, therefore React is bad. This one is cybernetically enhanced. Fuck. Okay, it says write less code, boilerplate free components using language you already know. Oh, okay. No virtual DOM. Oh, no virtual DOM. This is a direct hit on React. React is famous for virtual DOM. Now this Svelte, no virtual DOM. It says Svelte compiles your code to tiny frameworkless vanilla JS. Your app starts fast and stays fast. Oh, okay. No virtual DOM. That's interesting. Truly reactive. Okay, truly It's not just reactive, but it's truly reactive. No more complex, no more complex state management libraries. Svelte brings reactivity to JavaScript itself. Wow, Svelte. Okay, okay, and maybe I probably spend some time looking into it. So anyway, so let me copy that, paste it to today's talk show. So we have a record of what we've been talked about. Okay, svelte. Okay, close down, and also let's copy that. Copy this side as well. Let's see, what's the relation between these two? Are they kind of the so as I said, rabbit hole, sorry. Yeah, JavaScript, and the tech changes every day, right? I mean, not every day, but every year something new comes up. Okay, JavaScript in depth. WeeChat. Okay, WeeChat. I don't care. WeeChat is just a IRC client. Kathy. Good morning, Kathy. Great to see you. So Kathy joined XR Fan Club on Discord. Okay, so let's go to Reddit. Close Reddit. Story. Okay, look, this is one of my XR talk show. Story of math crisis. Oh, this one is math. Okay, story of math crisis, math foundation, proof theory, and homotopy type theory. This one's got fancy icons. So if you're into math, check that out. Okay, close. Now then we back to talk show YouTube, and actually there is one guy who posted a comment. Let me just answer that. This guy is my friend. Are you here? He's here frequently. He was here yesterday. So he says, Lyle Cardo. So he says, because Emacs has such a small user base, its disappearance would not do much damage. How would it affect you? Let's magnify. Okay. That's so bad at reading. So let me try it again. Sometimes you read. There are poetry reading sessions. Like you can, like, if you are into poetry or literature, things like that. Apparently there are poetry reading sessions. Like maybe you go to a city. I mean, in San Francisco here, or whatever is your city. There are, at least in America. Okay, I know there are in New York, San Francisco, or Los Angeles. So you go to a place, they read poetry. Apparently, poet, they read poetry. It's kind of funny. So I am somewhat, poetry and literature, I'm somewhat into. When you talk about poetry is like this topic that's also dramatic. Okay, like math. Okay, so like math is kind of dramatic topic. Although vast majority of people don't know nothing about math, but however, it's like a dramatic subject. Because, for example, Andrew Yang, who is the presidential candidate for Democratic Party in America, Andrew Yang, he's he's one of his theme is math. He's supposed to be the math guy. Like you have a hat. Let me show you some pictures. Andrew Yang, math. Okay, he's a presidential candidate for U.S. president 2020. So one of his jargon, the slogan for his campaign is math. You see all these sign math. Math, and the math hat, you see, math. So math is kind of this dramatic jargon. Even vast majority of people, like, they know nothing about what is math. When most people think of about math, they think of arithmetics, like 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Multiplication, 3 plus 5 equals to 15. That's what they think. They think that's math. And also, it's very annoying. Every time you go to Twitter or social networks, you search for math. It's maybe we can try it. Actually, I don't want to log into Twitter. But anyway, you go to Twitter or social math network. I don't want to log in. Okay, it's fuck Twitter. You go there, you type math, hashtag math. All you get, you get a bunch of, you get a lot of retweets, posts. Half of them will be girls, like teenage girls. Like they'll say, "Oh, math. Oh, I'm not good at math." Or my math teacher says something, and boyfriend. That's teen girls. You get, like 100 every day. Every day you get that when you type math. The hashtag math. You see these teen girls. They talk about math and their and their boyfriends every day. Fuck. Then on the other hand, then the other half is children. Children like collaboration game, math. Your hashtag math, children. Playing in Lego or something. Just fuck. Fuck these. So so that's not math, right? That's not math. You really want to get into math, study math. For example, major in math in college. Or you can go to YouTube. A lot of people teach you real math. Undergraduate level. Also, they have graduate level like PhD math. But it's not. But so my point here is that math is in society. Math is kind of like this, has this dramatic air around it. Like look at this. This math. So, but poetry is also kind of like that. Poetry, there's also a dramatic air around it. So anyway, so poetry reading. So let's go back to answer Lyocardo's question. So this is yesterday's this this is yesterday's talk show. The title is Shane Lisp, Monk, Shakespeare, Andronicus. Okay, let me do it again. I need to practice reading because reading is kind of fascinates me. That's part of the poetry reading stuff. So let me try it again, and I need to get better. Okay, I need to get better at my articulation. Yeah, so I've been doing YouTube videos for the past half a year, and when I watch myself, I'm going like, oh my god, I'm so bad at English. My actually is my articulation skill is very bad. And like every sentence I have, and things like that, and stutter and all that. But that's I don't want that. Okay, so I need to practice. By the way, reading. I mentioned this few times in my videos, in my past videos. Reading and writing a language, reading and writing a language such as English is entirely a different task or subject matter than speaking and listening skills. Okay, so you see me, I don't speak English. I speak fluently, but I don't. What you say is that my articulation skill needs improvement. Okay, there's another euphemism. Actually, what should be said is that my articulation skill is very bad. Okay, it's not. But in today's millennial generation, you should say needs improvement. Okay, or typically Americans are like that. They don't directly criticize you, a person, or they go roundabout. They say you need improvement. Anyway, so my articulation skill is pretty bad. Articulation means several things, but there are two major aspects to it. One is the pronunciation. You need to get it correct. Pronunciation. I'm doing kind of okay when I pay attention to it. In that, in the in the pronunciation. Okay, I'm doing kind of okay, I think. Now, if you have opinions, post it. Okay. Now, the other part of articulation is the ability or skill to to express yourself in real time. Okay, with good pronunciation. You have to express complex ideas in real time in a succinct way, and you use the correct the correct words or terminology or jargons to describe what you are thinking. So I'm pretty bad at that. On the other hand, the best person, the person with perfect articulation is Jordan Peterson. Okay, you guys have know Jordan Peterson, right? You have seen the way he talks. He's kind of, but anyway, he's kind of extreme. He's rather extreme. For example, I can tell you of the celebrities who's got really great articulation skills and who is not so great. For example, uh, for okay, those people with perfect articulation skills are typically, most of the time, they are academics. Okay, like professors, such as Jordan Peterson. Okay, so academics typically they have great articulation skill. But on the other hand, for example, President Trump, he doesn't have great articulation skills. Okay, the way he talk is like typical American. Okay, make great America again. Okay, Trump. Okay, that he's not. When he doesn't use fancy words or abstract words, structure, hierarchy, concept. About society. Things like that. He doesn't do that. And okay, so for example, Trump and also President Junior Bush, George Bush Jr. He was the president during 2004 or something. I don't like that guy. Okay, I think he's a criminal. Anyway, he is also an example who does not have great articulation skills. Okay, and these are Native Americans. So you have to make a distinction between speaking English fluently versus you articulate in perfection. Those are different. Okay, for example, I speak fairly fluent. You can say I'm fluent in English, but I don't have great articulation skills. So I talked about several things about articulation and speaking, but back to backtrack. I was saying speaking and listening skills of a natural language is entirely different from reading and writing. Okay, so when it comes to reading and writing, I've wrote a ton, and I've read a ton, Shakespeare and all that. That's an entirely different thing. But anyway, I want to get better at articulation. It's one of the things I always wanted to do, because remember I mentioned in my past talks I want to be a superhuman. Superhuman means I'm beautiful in every way. I'm a beautiful guy. I'm also Superman. I can run faster than you. And I can program faster than you. Like I want to be this superhuman, and I have failed. I have failed. that in fact, being too ambitious is part of the reason I failed. There's that's another thing to talk about. But anyway, so yesterday I was talking about this topic about Shane Lisp, Monk, Shakespeare, Andronicus, Paul Graham, and philosophy, and languages, Nim, Crystal, Golan. Okay, then there's this comment. So he says, because Emacs has such a small user base, its disappearance would not do much damage. How would it affect you? Well, if Emacs disappeared, I rely on Emacs very much. But if Emacs disappeared, I'll just switch to. I'm thinking right now is my choice would be VS Code. I heard, I probably switch to VS Code. And also, he says, and you speak of modernization for Emacs. If the changes were made, then more people use it for its features. What would then happen? Like, what do you mean? What would happen? So if Emacs people, if the Emacs dev, those on Emacs, Emacs dev, if they adopt the changes I proposed, if you search for Xali Emacs modernization, you'll find my articles. Okay, so if Emacs dev adopts my changes, I claim that Emacs will at least have twice as much users within 1 year, within 2 years. Okay, well, within 1 year. That's my claim. So if they adopt it, what would then happen? Like, what do you mean? What would then happen? There'll be more users. That's what will happen. So anyway, that answers that question. Okay. Today I meant to talk about several topics, okay, but we already talked for 50 minutes, so I don't know if I'm gonna continue with the topics I prepared here, or I'm gonna read the comments and see what's up. So I'm just going to read the comments and answer questions in the comments and continue from there. Okay. So Joss says, and I always thought I was the champion in procrastination. Okay, so if you have questions, comment, type it now. Okay, with my name. So rabbit hole, yeah, JavaScript front end is kind of a rabbit hole. So DP says, DP, good morning, DP. So DP, where are you from? So DP says, if you act or lie, you have to remember those lies a lot. If you are yourself, such as being truthful, you can be spontaneous and not have to remember what not to say. Exactly. Now, I don't remember what's the context when you made the comment, but exactly, that's what I thought. That's what I'm thinking as well. So that is the power behind, behind the recommendation. Sometimes you hear about be yourself. People sometimes tell you, you should be yourself. I agree. As a nerd, sometimes you hear people say be yourself, but you get confused. What do you mean be yourself? Like, if I go to interview, then I dress like my everyday normal dress, with bad hair and that. I'm thinking, oh, people say be yourself, so I just be myself. That's not it. So usually these maxims or these quotes, you have to apply interpretation. I mean, typically these quotes are wisdoms. Be yourself, but it's not. You cannot take it literally. You don't go. For example, the interviewer asks you a question. Uh, sometimes they ask what's your weakness. Sometimes they have very idiotic questions that doesn't do themselves good. Okay, the interviewer, like I said, it's a problem for you, it's also a problem for the company. They don't know what to ask. Sometimes they think, oh, what's your weakness, or they sometimes they ask, idiotic questions that that do them bad. Anyway, so about be yourself, it's usually you need some kind of interpretation. You can't just, be myself. People say be myself, so I say, oh, I don't know, I haven't been coding for 10 years, I don't know what to do. That's you know but actually you could say that, if for example me, if I do interview, I could say that. But the difference is that, for example, just like the way I'm doing YouTube talks now, you have to, like, when you are really be yourself, you know what to say. Okay, so if I say, for example, oh yeah, I haven't been coding for 10 years, it matters how you say it, because when your mindset is different, it all comes out. So for example, take for example, If interviewer asks me a question, what's your weakness? Maybe I say, oh, I haven't been coding for for a long time. Yeah, I don't know modern technologies. I don't know. I'm learning React today. I'm I'm starting to learn React and the and the Webpack. And okay, so yeah, I'm trying to okay. Then okay, then I'm done. Okay, that's no good. That's becomes so bad. On the other hand, if I'm truly, that's one example. I'm thinking, oh, I should be yourself. But I said that. Then that's it. Then that's bad. Okay, that's bad interview. Then the interviewer, maybe he doesn't. She often is the first interview often are human resource. They don't even know the technology. Anyway, the first interview, if you do that, then they think, oh, this guy don't know much. He's a beginner. He's a beginner. He don't even know React. He's learning it for the first day. Okay, no good. Cross it out, right away. On the other hand, here's another take for to be yourself. Okay, I say exactly the same thing. Oh yeah, well, I haven't. I'm learning React JS for the first time today. So I've been trying. I heard about it for a long time, but I never learned it. So I'm trying to learn it for the first time. Uh, you know, but by the way, I maybe I've showed this before. You can go watch my videos. I know JavaScript pretty well, probably more than let's say all your company's programmers. you know, and I have a JavaScript in-depth tutorial, and let me show you. I bring out my laptop and type it. Then I start to talk. Then that's good. That's also be myself. So there's kind of things like that difference. Um, well, and also it's also easier said than done. Because especially like I talked about this yesterday when the stakes are high. Like if you don't get this job tomorrow, you'll be dead. Then there's a lot of pressure. You don't do as well, anymore. Like unlike now, like right now, I can tell you what to do, because I don't have pressure. I'm not actually in an interview, so I can, I talk so well. But when if there's an actual interview, then you have pressure, things like that, right? So anyway, that's about be yourself. That's about that. Yuan Wang, Saga, good morning. My Chinese friend Yuan Wang, Saga，上次看到你在推特说要用 VS Code 了吗？那个是开玩笑的。So I was posting on Twitter saying that maybe I should abandon Emacs and use VS Code. It's kind of half joking, okay? So DP is from Germany. Okay, so a lot great people from Germany. So we have DP, we have Bartholomew, we have Matt, we have where's Ztron crazy Bartholomew, Ztron crazy. So George says, so do you know what text editors are most popular around the world? The most popular, that would probably be VS Code today. VS Code or Visual Studio. I would say, yeah, probably Visual Studio or VS Code or something like that. Yeah, I would say. So yeah. So if you have questions, guys, type it. Okay. How long I've been talking now? Maybe that's about it for today. 1 hour. Okay. So I'm thinking, 1 hour is actually a good time. Lately, I've been doing 90 minutes. So, like, questions, comments, post it, okay? Otherwise, let's see. So, Matt says, did you ever consider writing a book, by the way? Yes, I have, since 1995. So, let me tell you about my story about writing a book since 1995. So, go to Xali, Math, Plane Curves, okay? I talked about this many times. So you go to my website. This is my website, a visual dictionary of special plane curves. Now this is fairly, it's kind of, it's comprehensive. I did this in 1995. Okay, 1995, using Wolfram Mathematica, Wolfram language Mathematica, to create all these animations. I did a few video on this, so you could just search for XRD plane curves. So I did this in 1995, and that I wrote this in 1993, and I went to work for Wolfram Research for half a year, beginning as an intern. It's supposed to be intern, but anyway. So I did this. Then since 1996, so in 1995, I learned HTML at Wolfram. Before that, I don't really know HTML, but after at Wolfram, I really started to learn about creating, you can create your own website, and HTML. So in 1996, I created a HTML. I put this on the website, and back then this is cutting edge. Okay, I have animations. This is the most popular math website on the web. 1996 to well, depending on the year, well, let's say to 2005. My website is one of the most popular website for math subject. And thousands of universities links to it. Math department like University of California, Berkeley, or something, or thousands around the world. Math department website linked to my website. This project. And even back then, I thought about writing a book, so I can write a book. I write a book on plane curves. Maybe but then back then there is this guy at Wolfram Research. His name is George. George Pecker, or George Peck. Okay. George Peck, projective geometry. This is a way I can find out his name. Possibly this. Okay, but anyway, his name is George Beck or George Becker. I forgot. But anyway, he worked at Wolfram Research. He's still with Wolfram, so he's been at Wolfram Research for like 30 years by now, I guess. George Beck, or Peck, or Becker, something like that. Okay, I can find the name actually. Let me find the name. Okay. Coxter, real projective plane. Okay. There's a book written by this mathematician called The Real Projective Plane. Now, this is about projective geometry. This book is written in 1990 or 1980s. I forgot what's the date of the book. But anyway, so he wrote, there it is. You can see his name. So this is written by Coxter, a very well-known mathematician. Coxter. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so wait, hold on a second. Comments, guys, comments. Okay, comments. So this book is written by H.S.M. Coxter. Okay, a very well-known geometer. Okay, this guy, H.S.M. Coxter. He died about 10 years, 5 or 10 years ago. He died 10 years ago, something like that. And he's also, you can read about him on Wikipedia. I talked about him a few days ago. So he wrote the book, The Real Projective Plane. in 1980s or 1990s, I forgot, early 1990s. Okay, and this book comes with a disk, a floppy disk back then. So the disk contains some code like software to kind of a help learning the stuff, and that software is with Mathematica. Okay, so Mathematica, that software is written by George Beck, this guy. So when I went to Wolfram Research, I met this guy. He worked at Wolfram Research. Yeah, I didn't know before. So and he told me he's a Canadian, by the way. George Beck is Canadian. Actually, now I remember. Now I think he's a student of Coxter. Yeah, I think maybe he's a student of Coxter. Anyway, George Beck. Okay, I met him at Wolfram Research, and he told me, "Don't write a book. Don't write it." Okay, back then I was very young, like 20, 22. It's like I'm a hot shot. I'm going to be in the future. I'm going to be one of the great mathematicians. Kasali, you do that. When you are a PhD student in math, you kind of have that thing going on. As So anyway, so he told me don't write a book because what's the reason for that? Because I forgot exactly what's the reason he gave, but anyway, I don't know him too well. I don't know him too well, So, but anyway, I do remember he told me don't write a book. Um, so I don't remember what's his reason, what reason he gave me, but I do I can tell you what's the reason now. Typically, for a professor, for academics, first of all, let me just say the first of all, books makes zero money, almost basically zero income. Okay, I've researched. Okay, Sali, how much does author makes? Okay, I did a research on that. And I also talked about that. Um, so you need to find the article. I need to find the article. Check the design of the OpenBSD homepage. What? Okay, so actually, so we've been talking to. Okay, so let me find a page. Okay, actually just go to my home directory. Let me go to. So go to Xali programming blog. Okay, now go to the directory, then just search for list matching lines book. Okay, and search for how. Okay, there it is. There it is. How much you'll get for writing a programming book. So I did a research on this topic. You can read the details. I'm not going to read it. But anyway, basically, if you write a JavaScript book, for example, or programming language, whatever, tutorial, programming language, tutorial, let's say JavaScript because it's one of the most popular programming language. And suppose your book is a top seller, among all JavaScript programming books, yours is the best seller. Okay, how much you make? You make like all considered maybe $10,000. That's it. Okay, that's it. $10,000. But on the other hand, if you are a programmer working for a company, in 1 month you'll make $10,000. Okay, that's how much you make for a book. So that is assuming you are the best selling book author. Okay, that's JavaScript programming book. Okay, so you don't make money. And okay, so that's about that. Okay, so let me copy the URL, go back to Emacs, close that, go back to talk show, and paste the topic here because it's one of the things we talked about. So later on I can put on YouTube in the descriptions. So anyway, that's how much you make a book. You don't make money. And if you are writing a book for mathematicians, book, for serious mathematics, such as this one, there's even less money. Like a programmer, let's say nobody buys, because this when you talk about math books, for example, graduate level. This is kind of graduate level math, projective geometry, and even undergraduate. When you write a math book, you have to realize your audience is very 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 small, almost almost like nobody. Okay, let me ask you guys, do you guys know what's real projective plane? What the fuck is that? You don't know. Okay, I can actually tell you what that is next time. Okay, just ask me, I can explain what's a projective geometry. So anyway, like if a programmer book sells, JavaScript sell, even programming books, you don't sell. Okay, when you write a book, you want to write a book that's not technical. Then you have you can maybe possibly make some money. You want like novels, okay? Stephen King, okay, novels, or romance novels. Yeah, the body's Ripper, the the for women. Then you make money. But if you are lucky, it becomes a Hollywood film. Then you become a billionaire, like the Harry Potter's, Harry Potter's and other stories, Lord of the Rings, for example. If you are lucky, but if you write technical programming books, your audience is very few. Okay, you don't have money, you don't make money. But mathematicians is like even less, 1,000 times less, 10,000 times less than programmers. Okay, so basically forget it. Okay, you know but why do professors write it? Professors write it because they already have a job. They are writing, in academia, it's like it's a process. It's a process. You write a book not really for people to understand. You write it so that your coworkers, your colleagues, other professors can to show them, it's like it's like a kind of a class, to show them I've written a book. It's kind of like that in academia. So some exceptions, of course. There are exceptions, of course, but it's kind of like that. Okay, so that's about writing a book. So have I thought about it? Yeah, I have thought about it since 1995. Actually, I talked to a publisher, Addison Wesley publisher. I actually, I started to kind of go in that direction. I went to, I talked to the publisher. Actually, there are a few publisher contacted me. So this is around 1997, 1998. Okay, and I went and you talk to them, but basically in the end, I didn't do it. Like like a lot of things. That's my life story. In the end, I didn't do it. It just dropped. Then, so that this is back in 1997. Okay, this is back in 1997 to 1998. I was kind of doing math, a lot math. Uh, then, then like in recent, in the past 10 years, I've also thought about, maybe I can publish the book, maybe Emacs list, or then I did research. And then I found out, maybe if you are the best selling book, you only make maybe you only make what programmers make in 1 month. But how long does it take to write a book? It's more likely full time for a full year, full time 8 hours a day for a full year. You write a book, and how much you make? A programmer makes the same in 1 month. So book is not a option. Okay, it's not something you want to do. And also, once you write it, these fucking programmers, today's society, Wikipedia, internet, things should be free. The best things are free. The open source fuckheads, open source fanaticism, free software fanaticism, pirating. They don't care. You write a book, you spend 1 year, dive into JavaScript or Emacs list, Once it's published, it's pirated everywhere, and it's all over. The questions, the answer from your book, from your research is all over on Stack Overflow without credit. They spread and spread because when people posted maybe on Stack Overflow, on Wikipedia, if just one people post something without credit, it just copied over because they don't know where it came from. They don't know. It's not like everyone is so evil. They don't even know where it came from. It just becomes everywhere. It becomes everywhere. These open source fuckheads and free software fuckheads, because these people, they don't think about you know detail of things. They just chant ideology, and they work for Google, Facebook. Each one has 1,000 patent lawyers. These hypocritical fucks. I talked about this many times in my video frame rant. So Bartholomew says, what are you talking about? If you write a successful book out of nowhere, here you get rich overnight. The hard thing is for people to know your book exists and other marketing stuff. What are you talking about? Like what book? If you are lucky. And are we talking about tech books like programming, or are you talking about some other book? So, okay, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna continue for 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, I'm just gonna read the comments, and that'll be it for today. And today's drink, let me do my ritual of showing you today's drink. First of all, again, a cheap energy drink. This one is supposedly pina colada flavored, and also it's sugar free. Okay, always sugar free. Never drink sugared water such as Pepsi and Coke. Never. They do things to your body. Okay, you should follow that. Okay, if anything you get out of watching my show is that don't drink sugared drink. Try to get rid of it. Now I have juice. Let me get it. So I went to the Dollar Tree store and got myself supplies, tomato juice, and this one is prune juice. Again, it's sugar free. Okay, it's all juice, 100% juice, but it's from concentrate or whatever. I don't care too much about that, as long as it's just juice, not with sugar or whatever. They put corn syrup, things like that. So let me read the comments, and that will be it for today. Cheers. DP. Now, how do you DP? Okay, so DP, I'll just call you DP because you have a profile photo that's just D and P. Look at this Google. Look at this Google censorship going on today in our world today. So George says only a little with OpenBSD, and Google censored it. This message is held for review. What the fuck is society has become? These fucking social justice fuckheads. Why is that censored? Why does that it needs to be reviewed? Because their algorithms trying to censor so much. Beginning this sentiment begin with the social justice people. So it's like, oh, the hate speech and so on and whatnot. So they so show that. So okay, so read the comments from the beginning. So good morning, Yue Wang. Good morning. Are you from China or are you in USA or elsewhere? Yue Wang. So DP is from Germany. Okay, so do you know what text editor? Okay, so teach us German. You teach me, Bartholomew. You actually type something like, how do you say hello? Or this is something like, how do you say love? Okay, that's everything that everyone wants to know. How do you say love in Germany? In German. Okay. Okay, type it, Bartholomew. Okay. So J-pop. What do you mean J-pop? J-up. So Rengen tag, web surf tag. Okay. I don't know what they are. Talk about Emacs Lisp. Talk about Can you talk about Emacs Lisp? Josh, you should come in. Come in next time earlier. Come in next time earlier. And post that. Then we can do that. Because usually when I begin to talk about something, then it's just like a train. It's just like a bullet. It's like an iron train. There's a momentum. You cannot stop it now. So, and one thing leads to another. So if you like me, yeah, if you like my show, come in next. So next week it's going to be 10 o'clock. Okay, in the morning, San Francisco time, 10 o'clock. Come in and type, and also just say Emacs Lisp. And also, the more specific question, the better, because the more specific, like if you actually have a question, it'll be much better. I mean, by that I mean I'll start to talk much more, because I got something to talk about. So you know, for example, you could say, you like to learn Emacs Lisp. Like, do you know any at all? Or what do you think about Emacs Lisp compared to other languages? Then that's an entirely different question, because then that's not technical question. It's also so I mean, so what is your, where you coming from? If you can ask more specific questions are better. But otherwise, if you want, I can just start to talk about, just pick a random topic about email list. I can talk about that. So DP is using Vim since 1994. Wow. Uh, so Bartholomew says, next to me. Okay. Okay. Bartholomew and Ztron crazy. Damn you old. Off my lawn. For me, it's either Vim or Emacs. Didn't make a final decision. So George says, so I saw your 2020 goal in your website. How close are you to achieving them? That's that's a very bad article you run into. I posted that because I remember I posted that like 3 years ago. Basically, I have made no progress. It's kind of like my life story. So I started to do Xa talk show, like right now, for since half a year ago. I started, every day I'm doing things, but it's not focused. That's actually a bad thing. So anyway, the thing is about, so I wrote a article that says my goal for the next 3 years or 5 years, 2020. Some of them, for example, they are write a compiler, create my new language, know parser theory well. That's so all these three things are together. So I can create my own language, write a parser, write a compiler. That's together. I didn't really do that. Then I need to know JavaScript. I need to write a JavaScript curve plotting library. You know, well. I didn't really do that. Things like that. And the other major goal I want to do is I want to know homotopy type theory or proof theory well. That I also failed. I didn't make much progress. And the other one is about know more about differential geometry. Yeah, I didn't really do well on that neither. So that's pretty bad. Okay, Bartholomew says judge the design of OpenBSD page. Actually, 18 second 20. I should be shutting down OpenBSD. Uh, BSD. So judge the design. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. First of all, it looks like they are like 1999 era. Actually, this is not 1999, but this is more like it's kind of like 1999 style of pretty bad. And first of all, the texts are too small. And look at this. This is pretty idiotic. This long running text, this line from left to right, you have to read it like that. You know, do they know CSS? So first of all, you have to magnify. I have to magnify. I get old. I have to magnify. Yeah, so it's pretty bad. Then even my website are better. FreeBSD. Okay, so next we are about done. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. Uh, I'm currently trying to install getting basic stuff on Dell notebook. Okay. Don't forget to answer my email later. Okay, I'll do that today for sure. You are not worried about artificial sweeteners. Okay, artificial sweeteners. I'm not worried about them. Yeah, so I looked into. I don't think they are that bad. I mean, I know. For health conscious people, a lot of people, they say, oh, those are cancergenous. They are cancer causing. Some people will say there are quite a few types of artificial sweeteners. Basically chemistry. You have several types, and usually each one has a marketing name, like NutraSweet is one of them. The they okay, some of them I can actually name. There is dextrose. Dextrose is not artificial sweetener. It's sugar. So this subject is about chemistry. Chemistry is a big thing. So sugar, there are many types. And I don't really know how they works. I don't really know how they works. Dextrose, yeah, sucrose. So in chemistry about sugar, you have sucrose. You have the other one is uh, dextrose, I think. Anyway, but those are not artificial sweetener. You have zacharine. I think one of them is called zacharine. The chemistry. Anyway, I don't think I worried. I don't worry about them because I'm not paranoid about that. I think if you consume, if you don't do anything crazy, you'll be fine. I mean, there's no, you know, they say they cause cancer, but I don't think so. Possibly, but there are lots of things in your life that's far worse than artificial sweeteners, such as drinking Pepsi or Coke. That's 10 times worse. Okay, than just drinking diet. Okay, and also driving a car is 100 times increases your death chances of death by 100 times if you drive car. Things like that. Or if you don't exercise, you get too fat. So I'm not too worried about artificial sweetness. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for coming. I almost puked when I first time saw OpenBSD page. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bartholomew and George. And thank you guys for coming. And if you have money, if you're working, put some money in my pocket. My PayPal and my Patreon. It's on my website. The links on my website. Bye, guys.